to stone cold in the broken hall, a mass breath in the dark, waiting for the fall. The blade was born in grief, the sky went black with flame. You stood by the sleds in time and called the haunted name. Hold the line, feel the gate, the storm is rising, it's too late. Hands of iron, eyes of fire, one more step and higher, higher. Skywalker, dark side. Skywalker, dark side. The night knows your name. Luke took the hand of the chosen one. Luke took the hand of the chosen one, and the heavens shook with shame. Dust on the silver floor, a blood in the memory. A son with mercy burned a father with a plea. One voice in the ruin, one light in the bend. A single outstretched hand could tear the dark in half again. Hold the line, hear the choir, a thousand echoes climbing higher. Steel to heart, fire to bone. You are not lost, you're not alone. Skywalker, dark side. Skywalker, dark side. The night knows your name. Luke took the hand of the chosen one. Luke took the hand of the chosen one, and the heavens shook with shame. Break the chain, break the crown, let the thunder drag us down. One more breath, one more plea, turn the shadow into Skywalker, dark side. Skywalker, dark side. The dawn breaks through the pain. Luke took the hand of the chosen one. Luke took the hand of the chosen one, and the whole world learns your name. What up, what up, what up? What up, what up, what up? Just want to make sure that's working. My phone keeps shutting off. Okay. What up, what up, what up? There it is. Nice echo. What's going on, guys? All right, who we got here? Chaotic Rage 420, Gap After Dark. What's up, guys? Got some other viewers that are lurking. What's shaking? Q is in the house. Little delay on my end. Sorry about that. Get you on there. All right. What's up, brother? As you saw, tonight's topic, real simple. Everybody voted and chose it for this week. What if Luke
chose to join Vader after the events of Empire Strikes Back, because that's a more pivotal moment for him. His training has taken place with Yoda. He's gone through these moments of emotional detachment, attachment, confusion, pain, agony. He's told to go confront Vader, loses a hand, sees himself in Vader. A lot of wild stuff for Luke. So if he did join, there's a few questions. At what moment would he have done it? Would it have been when Vader said, "I'm your father"? Would it have been, when he found out, that he had to go confront him, and he started to feel things for him? Would he still do something like a dyad deal where it's father and son helping the Emperor? Would they take out the Emperor? It's a pivotal time before the events of Return of the Jedi. Luke's already done all this stuff against the Empire, but now Vader's kind of like, wait a minute, it's my son. You can join me. Together we can rule. So would that be what happens? What do you guys think? Let's get into it. I like it. All right. If they join together and Luke joined Vader, they tear up the galaxy for sure. How about the Emperor? Would the Emperor have a role in that? I'll leave that up there. Do you think the Emperor would still have a role in that, though? I think maybe for a little while. Maybe for a little while. Let's see. I'll share some little photos here. What are we doing here? Gap says, I think we should keep the Emperor involved. And when Luke saw the Emperor hurting his father, maybe that's a point where he said, well, I'll go ahead and join so you won't hurt my father. Yeah, because that could be a tactic, right? He could play on the heartstrings a little bit. That's a good way to look at it for sure. Let me scroll down here. There was such a dark tone to that movie that you almost thought Luke could do it. Would he necessarily have to be a Sith Lord, though? I guess there could be other Sith out in the galaxy that we wouldn't have known about, sort of studying, sort of waiting. You see the baseball? So they wouldn't necessarily have to follow the ways of the Sith, right? Because they'd be in charge. It'd be a new order. Maybe it could be some kind of weird Sith Jedi mix, What's he saying here? It would be cool if he's half Sith, half Jedi, right? Fulfill the role of being the Emperor and Vader, so mostly be dark. Because I think the Emperor wanted to be the Emperor. I don't know that would have been Vader's goal, right? Vader just wanted power. I guess that's the Emperor too, though. They're just putting a name to it. Half Sith Lord, half Jedi. Yeah. Because, so much changed in Luke's face right here. Like when he tells him, look at this. If at that moment he would have said, okay, let's go, Dad. Where do we start? I think they would have had this. He would have said, we got to take out the Emperor. And then it would be really interesting to see all of the stuff that would change as a result. I'm waiting for it. I saw that you chatted. I'm waiting for it to update. There's a little delay. Okay. Would have probably joined together after the throne room fight. After the throne room was in Return of the Jedi, though. The Emperor wouldn't have a place in the mix. He would always be trying to kill them. I don't think he could kill him. The dynamics between Luke joining Vader with Han, Leia, and Chewbacca and the Rebel Alliance would be so dramatic and fun. Yeah, because think about Leia's predicament. Now she's going to be the Jedi, right? Now she's going to be told, they're going to go ahead and tell her, hey, there was another, right? We're going to get there before Return of the Jedi. Wait, there was another. Somebody's going to go to her and say, hey, you got to stop your brother and your father now. You're not going to join them. You're going to stop them both, right? I think this would be more or less Return of the Jedi here. And I don't know. Let's see what he says. They capture C-3PO and make him an evil instrument and then put them back with the rebels. Interesting. Luke became like, I wouldn't say he was the de facto leader of the rebels, but he became a big part of the leadership of the rebels. And the first Death Star was destroyed, you know. The next one's starting. The Emperor's trying to tell Luke, trying to get to Vader to get to Luke and all that. That's an interesting idea about C-3PO, though. Because he could, like, transmit stuff back to them and they wouldn't know. Because they don't speak the binary language of moisture evaporators. How long do you think it would take, though, after this, before they would either fight each other again or he says, hold on, I'm trying to see. I'm seeing your chat before it's going over to my app that I'm using here. Okay, the throne room fight was in Jedi, but I don't think Luke would have joined Vader after the Bespin duel. Luke was way too conflicted. Well, see, I think that's the moment when he would have, though, because he was conflicted. Like, he would have said, maybe you're right. Like, maybe he would have left and then they would have talked. Because remember at the end of the movie when he's getting his hand fixed, he said, Luke, he said, Father. Maybe they would have had a little conversation right there, you know, and he would have said, maybe you're right. Hold off. Hold off. Let me meet you on Mustafar and we'll talk about this. We'll have a barbecue, you know. But I think in time, Luke would have still had that sense. Maybe after he went dark, maybe he would come to his senses at some point, because he had all of his body parts with the exception of the hand, so he had more midichlorians working in him. And so they would be fighting for that balance, right? So at some point, I think maybe he would have come to his senses before Anakin, and he would have said to him, you know, we don't have to hurt anybody. We can rule and we can bring balance. And there is still good in you. And I can bring you back out of this. The Emperor, we need to get the Emperor out of the way in order to do it. Well, Yoda would have been dead because Yoda died on Dagobah. Because I thought about that too. I was like, oh, what if they had to take out Yoda? But Yoda would die anyway of his natural causes from being 900 years old and not as attractive as he used to be. So I don't really think he would have to confront him so much as just Yoda would just be like, I knew it. I was been disappointed in you from day one. Then you have lost. Remember, he left his training. If you leave, you've got to complete your training. And Luke chose to leave. And it kind of broke Yoda's heart a little bit. And then he went back to him later. What was that, the beginning of Jedi when he died? So it still would have happened in that order pretty much still. He would have been dark, and then maybe he would have thought, maybe I'll go back to Yoda and try to talk some sense into him. And then Yoda would have been like, you're lost. You have to find the light. You have to tell Anakin to come back to the light. You have to bring balance. And then he would have died anyway. I don't think they would have had to have confronted him or killed him. I don't think he had any more fight left in him. He was out of energy at that point. What they tried to do to Luke in the second sequel travesty film. But I'm not arguing. I think it's good points all around. I think we rewrite the book a little bit. It all gets jumbled up and becomes one big tale rather than 3 movies, you know what I mean? Or 2 movies become one. So let me I want to build a poll here. That's what he said. Punch my idea into AI and see what it comes up with. Okay, let's do it. I'll do it right now and then I'll read it to you. So tell me what to ask it. Should I ask it so it gives me a question? It gives me an answer like I tell it to write the theoretical turn of events. All right, let's do this. Okay, what if Luke had joined Vader after the events of Empire Strikes Back? What would some of the potential fallout be, including the Rebel Alliance and the Emperor Palpatine? Would Luke eventually have returned to the light side and tried to convince to come along? How about that? All right, let's see what it says. Let's go. Here we go. AI. If Luke had taken his father's hand beneath Cloud City instead of dropping into the abyss, it would have shattered the galaxy's fragile fate and set off a volatile chain of reaction between the rebels, the Sith, and the Skywalker family. Here is how that alternate reality likely plays out. The Rebel Alliance, broken hope, and a new destiny. The loss of Luke Skywalker would be a devastating psychological blow to the rebellion. Beyond losing the fighter pilot who blew up the Death Star, they would lose their greatest symbol of hope. The fall of Endor. Without Luke on the ground or in the fight, rescuing Han Solo from Jabba the Hutt becomes drastically harder. Ooh, I didn't think about that. So Han was still in the carbonite at this point. Oh, shit. If not, Luke rescuing Han from Jabba the Hutt becomes drastically harder, if not impossible. Furthermore, with Luke turning himself in on Endor to draw Vader away, the Alliance's assault on the second Death Star would lack its internal sabotage of the dark side, likely leading to total destruction in Palpatine's trap. The rise of Leia. Yoda's famous line, "There is another," becomes the Alliance's sole lifeline. So what I was saying, right? Obi-Wan and Yoda, for their Force ghosts, would be forced to reveal Leia's true lineage to her much sooner. Driven by the tragedy of losing both Han and her brother, Leia would have to step up as the last Jedi candidate, carrying the weight of the galaxy on her shoulders. Palpatine and Vader, a lethal 3-way chess match. Vader's offer on Bespin was explicit. Join me, and together we can rule the galaxy as father and son. Vader wanted Luke to help him kill the Emperor. However, the Emperor was rarely caught off guard. So Palpatine's strategy would be to welcome Luke, but immediately initiate a deadly game of manipulation. Just as he had discarded Count Dooku for Anakin, Palpatine would view Luke whole, unarmored, and immensely powerful as the ultimate upgrade over Vader. It would create tension. A brief, uneasy alliance would form between Vader and Luke, but Palpatine would constantly pit them against each other. Palpatine would push Luke to strike down Vader to take his place at his side, while Vader would push Luke to help him strike down the Emperor. Luke's fall would not be driven by a desire for galactic domination. It would be born of trauma, desperation, and the overwhelming realization of his lineage, because his core motivation wasn't malice. His fall into the dark side would be unstable. Over time, Luke would inevitably realize that the dark side is a trap of endless suffering and that Palpatine is simply using him. Once he senses Leia through the Force or faces her in conflict, his connection to his sister and his fundamental good nature would ignite a crisis of conscience, pulling him back towards the light. Having reclaimed his path, Luke wouldn't just try to escape, he would do exactly what he did in the original timeline, attempt to redeem Anakin. Only this time he would be working from the inside, knowing the pain, the guilt, and lingering conflict within his father. Luke would leverage their bond and the memory of Padme to convince Vader that they don't have to rule an empire of ashes. Together they would turn on Palpatine, not as Sith seeking power, but as a redeemed father and son bringing balance to the Force. Damn, I called it, y'all. Do you think Leia would have been able to forgive Luke if they ended up facing each other on opposite sides of a lightsaber? Damn, it gives us a question. Damn. So that's the way AI sees it, Gap. That kind of what I was saying. Luke would eventually return to sort of those lighter side feelings, convince Anakin to join him, and then Anakin would be like, "We need to take out Palps." So that shit would still go down. But then you've got the Vader, you've got the part of it with Leia there. So let me go back and see what you guys were saying while I was in story time. Okay, Luke would not confront Vader in a fight, just with the questions about his father and family if he got upset. Okay, then Yoda dies, all hell breaks loose with the Emperor and Vader, and Luke could conquer the galaxy faster, and the rebels would be in turmoil because of that, and in some infighting, they would lose some ground. Well, the Emperor would probably take a lot of suckers out, too, and that would hurt Luke, I think. The Battle of Endor fails hard for the rebels, for sure. Luke is the new apprentice. In the medium short-term, rebellion is crushed. Probably off to lick their wounds and try to regroup, rebuild. Luke's role, he becomes the Empire's golden boy, young, charismatic, powerful, and the hero who saw the truth. Palpatine uses him for high-profile missions. Long-term, Palpatine contingency plan. The Emperor always planned for succession through betrayal with two powerful apprentices. He accelerates plots to have them kill each other. Okay, you guys called that. That's what AI said too. And then the thing about Leia, that's the fairy tale ending. That's funny. That's funny, bro. So yeah, I didn't think about Leia would have to be accelerated into the Jedi Order. And then would she forgive Luke? But I think, in time she would. And then Anakin's back in the fold. And then we go to Ahsoka season 2, and they're all doing this, and they're all together. So we're gonna see it. It's gonna happen. Let's see. So I like that. Let's do. Let's see. Let's do a little something here. Let's see if I can do this. I don't know if I can. How the heck do I do it? Hold on a second, guys. Let me find something else. Hold on. Where is it? Go in here. Go there. I'm trying to set up. Here it is. Okay. So So maybe this could be for next time. I'll throw this poll up there. So we had Luke. Did that go again? No. What's going on here? So in time, Leia would forgive Luke, but a very long time. That's a big betrayal. So that'd be time enough for another 3 movies then, right? Maybe 4. I had a couple other things I wanted to get to tonight, though, because a lot of stuff happened over the weekend at San Diego Comic-Con. So I want to move away from this. I think that was pretty cool. I think we got some things. I'll keep checking the comments here. 9 movies, yeah. Let me see. Let me hide this. That's what he said. Let's see. Okay. I don't think I got my right screen here set up. Hold on. Oh yeah, okay. So let's talk about Doomsday for a minute. They did a little announcement at SDCC. I don't know if everybody saw this. I don't think this is the final trailer, but we'll just look at the trailer for Doomsday. And the one thing I wanted to bring up was the fact that they showed some more cast members. So there's some Thunderbolts in there, some Avengers in there, some Fantastic Four in there. You know, how powerful is Doom? Is he a Thanos level? Is he beyond Thanos? Has he picked up more because of the multiverse? So is he sort of like a Doctor Strange level? You know, in the comic, he did some crazy evil stuff. Like he traded Reed Richards' wife to demons to have power or something crazy in a story. You know, so they've got him as this really big bad, and we got to bring those expectations down because this is like phase 17 or whatever the hell it is. And to have him be Tony Stark out of the multiverse and stuff, like we already know that's what it is, right? So I'm curious to see how that turns out. But let's take a look at this trailer real quick. I hope you guys can hear his sound.
Something's coming. Something we may not be able to deter. Before this day is done, we shall be faced with an unthinkable decision.
I've fought with many warriors.
There's Fantastic Four, there's some Avengers,
Then all the
there's
rest put
soldiers,
together,
Thunderbolts.
and they died. They died facing enemies
Is that the son of T'Challa?
and threats that scared me far less than this one.
Or why do they nerf Thor so bad half the time?
Everything that they sacrifice will be for nothing if we do not stand together. Put aside your petty squabbles. And presume nothing except this. If you return, you will return as brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
Mark my words.
Can he really be that strong?
We're going to need a miracle.
Hey, pal.
It's not possible.
All right, so they're really revealing a hell of a lot here. Like, is this multiverse stuff? Or did he go hide? Is this a timeline trick? And then this right here, like, what's up with that? What's up with that? Why do they keep doing that to Thor? Why do they keep doing him like that? But anyway, an interesting thing happened at the end of the when they were showing the trailer. Ryan Reynolds came out in his Deadpool garb and was asking if they'd finished filming and this and that. So I think he's definitely going to be in the movie. They're not fooling us. I think he's definitely in the movie. That's probably going to be one of the only things that saves this movie, because I think you nailed it, Gap, right here. he was the same character for 12 years or whatever, 14 years, something crazy. And now we're supposed to believe this is him. And, you know, so there's definitely going to be some TVA action, and Loki's going to be involved in time and all this stuff. I don't know. I'm not convinced that's going to be as great as they want it to be. But a couple other notable announcements. You guys might have seen this. Let me pull that up. That's what he said. My bad. My bad. I'm showing. Ryan Gosling comes out and says he's going to be Ghost Rider and that he's wanted to do it for a long time. It's coming out in 2028, directed by Sean Levy. No doubt it'll be cool, but what's going on? Can't they have Nicolas Cage hand off the keys to the motorcycle or what? Trailers are all misdirection. Exactly, dude. Exactly. Let me go over real quick too, like some of the other major announcements from SDCC, the Marvel Studio announcements. Probably can't see that on the screen real good. I'll see if I can blow it up for you there. That's what he said. Black Panther 3. So this will be the son of T'Challa. So I'm thinking they'll introduce him in Doomsday. That's coming out in 2028. Then this year, Doomsday at the end of the year. They're going to do Endgame Encore. So it's going to be Endgame with some scenes that help carry things over into Doomsday, which I think is kind of ridiculous. But hey, let's make some money. And I think that's probably something to do with the Infinity Stones and Steve Rogers. There's different footage that says tied to Doomsday and Steve Rogers returning the Infinity Stones. So that may be how he shows back up. The Ghost Rider announcement, Nova, has been announced with a new cast. Shang-Chi 2 says that's coming. Midnight Suns, possible first look was teased. Midnight Suns, I think a lot of people are waiting on. Adam Driver was announced as Mr. Sinister in an upcoming X-Men project. A rumored Avengers Secret Wars in a Disney Plus series would open the way for Thanos to return. The Fantastic Four First Steps, Herbie Robot came out. Vision Quest, X-Men 97, of course, that's going on right now. What else we got here? Marvel game demos, Wolverine game trailer. They're talking about him being more feral in the game, so it's a little different take. Some different comics for this year with Avengers and Maximum X-Men. Dr. Doom masks and cloaks were handed out. What? Ryan Reynolds made the surprise Deadpool appearance, which makes me think he's in the movie. So then we also have Spider-Man Brand New Day coming this year. In another week or something? This week, right? Doomsday at the end of the year. The next December would be Secret Wars. December of the following year would be Black Panther 3 and also Ghost Rider with Homie G. So what do you guys think of that stuff? You looking forward to any of that? What's up there? Ken, what's up? What is happening, brother? we couldn't be on last week, the Thursday before we lost our dog Jax, and so couldn't do that. And then I was on Whatnot and had some friends over there asking about doing this. So we're like, here we are. Let's do this. I see the comments coming. I'm waiting for them to load in. Doomsday is basically the setup for Secret Wars, but it's going to be all over the place. Because isn't the Secret Wars the shapeshifters and all that? I forget what they're called. Or is that where they take them to other planets and make them fight each other and all this craziness? How did Q come in late and he's number one on the on the YouTube top fans? He's number one. Chaotic Rage is number two. Gap was number three until Pat's fan showed up. Knocked you right out of there, Gap. And Gap was here first. Oh, that's funny. So I'm actually kind of looking forward to this Spider-Man because it's a little more serious. He's got a little more things at stake. So I kind of like that because he had everybody forget who he was. So now it'd be kind of interesting, like fighting the Hulk and different stuff like that, because we've been wanting to see the Hulk back in action. So it'll be cool, you know. Thanks for the love, guys. Appreciate it. So yeah. Let me know what you guys are going to be watching this year. We got a couple movies coming out. You know, it's we love Star Wars, but it's all about the bigger fandom of things that we all love. And I think I'm actually going to want to see the Spider-Man movie. Oh, I didn't go see Mando movie. I'm going to see it on streaming, but I'm looking forward to the Spider-Man movie for sure. I think Tom Holland does a great job. And I like where they go with the script and stuff when they're, you know, when Marvel is hitting on some cylinders, they do a great job. Better than what we've been getting from some franchises lately. Hint, hint, wink, wink. We're also on vertical stream on YouTube tonight, and it looks to be a disaster. It's got the screens all over the place. That's funny. That was a first tonight. So what do I got going on this week? So Wednesday night, starting at 4 p.m. Central, go over to Whatnot, Red 5 Cantina over there. We're going to be doing our 3-pack break. You'll get 3 packs for your money. It's going to be cool. If I don't set it up as a break, I might set it up as like individual personal rips, and then we can do like a wheel, like the Wheel of the Force. Get a number, pull that envelope, and there's your 3 packs, because there's going to be autographs in there, sketches in there, numbered hits. It'll be pretty awesome. And then building into the next couple of weeks, I got some crazy stuff coming in, so it'll be interesting. And I'm going to dual stream a little more often from over there because we have some good times. So I think this week we're going to dual stream what's going on and Whatnot over here Wednesday. Go Big is here. What up, buddy? Duffman, what's up? We're just ending. Guys, we had a great talk tonight. It was what if Luke joined Vader after some of the events of Empire Strikes Back. We had a real good conversation, and then the guys convinced me to plug that into AI and see what AI had to say about it. And we were all almost on the same page until AI threw us a big one at the end. And I think we can do this next week. So having assumed that Luke went with Vader, and I think we're safe to say they take out the Emperor, right? And he comes to his senses. He pulls Vader back to the light side. Now he's got to go back to Leia and be like, hey, sorry, I went to the dark side, because she was forced to get into the Jedi Order, right? So it says, do you think Leia would have been able to forgive Luke if they ended up facing each other on opposite sides of a lightsaber? And that'd be an interesting one if Leia went to the dark side. That'd be an interesting one. Guys in the chat, where am I at? Hold on. I'm losing my buttons. Where are we at? All right, Go Big. Guys, go follow Go Big Collectibles. Awesome. Dave is an awesome guy. Super nice guy. He does some cool shows on Saturday nights on Whatnot. So in that regard, we have that in common. Whatnot buddies. What's up? Duffman showed up. What up, Duffman? Here he goes. The squirrel. I like how he tagged that squirrel army on there. I love it. I love it. Let's see. What's everybody doing here? We had a nice little flurry here at the end. Everybody saying hello to everybody. I like it. I like it. After we talked about the Luke Star Wars, that was the main theme of tonight's episode. Good to see you too, Ken. Go print some 3D print stuff. Then we talked about SDCC a little bit and talked about, we looked at the Doom trailer and we're all convinced that Robert Downey Jr. he's not the villain. It's just not him. It's not possible. We can't unsee him as Tony Stark. So there's going to be a little switcheroo or something going on there. I think a lot of us can agree on that. Then we talked about some of the upcoming movies. Ryan Gosling going to be Ghost Rider. Some of the other movies coming out in the next 2 years. There's going to be the T'Challa's son will take over the reign. The Black Panther 3. That'll be kind of interesting. And I think they're going to introduce him in this movie and then bring him into other stuff later. I think this movie is going to get us, somebody said, into the Secret Wars. That was a good thought. They got the Wolverine game coming out. We got Spider-Man coming out this week. So it's gonna be a good year. The rest of the year I think is gonna be good for stuff. We got Doomsday in December, so I think this year is gonna be cool. Go out with a bang, and some other Star Wars shows and cartoons and different things like that. So a lot of people don't like the animated. I think if you go back to Clone Wars, if you want to know anything about the Mandalorians, go to season 2. It is a school on the Mandalorian history. It's crazy. There's a lot of cool lore in there. And also you get to see Yoda go through some trials. You get to see Anakin go through some trials and the Mortis gods and things like that. Some real tests of their character and their force abilities, stuff that you couldn't see in the movies because it just takes too much of a long arc. And then go Google. Here's what I want you guys to do just when you're Googling around, doom scrolling. Look up that George Lucas's idea for that dark sort of detective series Star Wars show that they worked on. I guess they had scripts together. They had it ready to go and they didn't do it. And then the sale happened. Underworld. So that would have been awesome. But go check all that out. And that pretty much does it for me, guys. I'm going to get out of here. And Wednesday night, come over to my Whatnot, check it out. Go sub up to everybody that, if you guys got an account, throw in a link in the chat. Feel free. We're going to play our video out, and I will see you guys next time. See you Wednesday on Whatnot, and I'll see you guys next week. We'll talk about Leia going to the dark side too, or the light side. We don't know. We'll see what you guys say. We'll see you guys.